Today we're going to talk about how to practice active listening. This is a great way, one of the many ways we can build rapport with our students. So it's important that we do this regularly, both in our group lessons and in our private lessons. So let's talk about how to do that. First of all, let's just kind of focus on the word active and what that really means for us in the classroom. We don't want to be a passive teacher. We don't want to kind of let the class go by without them realizing that we're actively interested in what they're saying and responding to what they say. So in order to do that, we want to, when possible, find common ground and interests right from the start of our introductions. So when we ask our students to introduce themselves at the beginning of each lesson, and they start to tell us a little bit about their jobs or their family or their hobbies, hopefully we're able to directly communicate something we have in common with them. Finding things in common is a natural human need we all have. We want to feel that connection, that relationship with those we speak to. And so it's no different for our students. So we want to make that connection as best we can. Of course, some of our students are shy at times. And so if that's the case, we may need to ask additional questions. For example, perhaps a student just introduces themselves by their name and what they do for work. We may need to do a little digging in order to find that common ground. So let's say the student said that their name is Sam and they're an engineer. Hi, Sam, what country are you from? Oh, that's interesting. I've never been there before. What's the weather like today? So again, we're asking additional questions to get them talking right at the beginning of class, and this will definitely influence the rest of our lesson. And again, it's the active listening. We don't want them to feel that we're not interested in what they say. We want them to know that we are. Of course, we also want to encourage them to share information that is specifically important to them. So maybe they have some good news or they just got a promotion. We want them to feel comfortable sharing that in our lesson. After all, it is their lesson. Whether it's a group lesson or a private lesson, it's theirs. And so we want to encourage that. So if someone says, I recently graduated college, congratulate them. Or I got married last month, congratulate them. Encourage that. And you will definitely see the difference in your students. They are automatically excited that you're taking that kind of personal interest in them. Then, when possible, we want to integrate the students' responses as much as we can in the lesson. For instance, I recently was doing a private lesson with a student who told me earlier in the lesson she was married. Then we started the topic on television, and she was talking about it, but she wasn't talking very much. So after she told me what she liked to watch on television, I asked her, well, what does your husband like to watch on television? And then she had a good laugh telling me that he watches golf and she dislikes golf. It's boring. So sharing and integrating what she had previously told me, I was able to help her open up a little bit and hopefully expand her range and her comfort in English. And of course, we want to respond specifically to what is said rather than generally. So practicing active listening, we can be polite, but still not practice active listening. For instance, after a student introduces themselves or gives a comment, we could say, thank you for sharing, or thank you very much. That's being polite, but it's not necessarily the active listening our students will respond best to. Rather, try to be specific rather than general. So thanks so much for telling us about your day. It sounds like you had a hard day at work. Or thanks so much for telling us that story about your grandparents. See, that indicates to the student that we are listening and what they're saying matters. So again, these are just some ways we can demonstrate this active listening and will help us build a strong rapport with each of our students.